It's not beneficial. No,
We're
I
back.
want to do it. I
Now,
want to do it.
bullshit. We're doing it. All right, so
It's gonna be the same thing anyway.
no, it's not. Let's go. Look, trust me on this one.
Known you for 8 years.
So this, no, that's messed up, bro. Look, here we go. So we want to come part 2 on this one, and I got to get Nico's take because I was selfish. I took all the time, and my man said
I don't want to post
he
it.
had something on his chest. So we want to talk about. Do we want to specifically? Do you want to specifically talk about?
Was it still recording?
It's a recording.
I don't even know what to say now. I wasn't prepared for this.
Do you want to still take the topic about the idea of the high value woman or high value people and them not being?
No, I mean, and them not being what?
And them not really being honest or really aware that they're not of that value, but they're the arrogance and the hubris that's come with it. That what you want? That's what you want to discuss.
We can talk about that or something similar to it.
You can talk. I talked too much already.
They gonna put me on like that.
Go ahead.
I want it to be a back and forth, not just me talking.
You say your part now. I'll add additional. So, what's your issue with the high value woman that's maybe not truly as high value as maybe she thinks? What's the issue with that?
It's not even about your high value and what you think your value is. Mm-hmm. It's just that the way you're filtering out relationships doesn't work in your best interest. Because there's many things like, yeah, you can, like I said, you can get a guy to pay for absolutely everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But if you want to go on vacation at this time and he doesn't want to, a man like that is going to be like, no.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I feel like not all of them, but at least most of them who think that way, like you just want somebody to boss around. Like you just want to take all the advantage of everything. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the day, that's a man that you're not gonna even respect anymore.
That's true. How about this? You are aware, but what are your feelings towards that market? Because there are individuals that are in that space who will provide their lifestyle and will be used and exploited and used up and cast aside for someone else to do it again. Is there discomfort in that being is an expectation for that? So just because there are individuals that are like that, there's a broader notion or a narrative going that like that's what constitutes a valuable man to say women that like that. And a lot of women who are vocal believe that's what they deserve, that type of man. They don't deserve the type of man who would exact a type of standard against them or make them earn access to that when there's men out there who just give them that without anything. Is it the threshold, the issue that you have?
Oh, okay. I kind of see what you mean. It's about looking down on you because either one, you financially cannot do that.
Okay.
Or number two, you're not willing to.
Okay.
So if you're not willing to, now you're cheap. Now you shouldn't even deserve to be in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Or all these negative things, but you can do it, you just don't want to do it. Like you want to go a little bit, I don't want to say 50-50, but at least like 60-30, 70, 60-40, 70-30. You have a standard. It's not cool.
You have a standard of expectation that say, for you to be qualified for me,
you need to do this.
Third, right? Okay.
And then if not, you won't be seen as high up.
Yeah.
Like if you do this, you're up here. If you don't, then you're kind of down here.
Well, yeah, but if you're going to be the most beneficial to someone, they're going to put you at priority. This person does everything for me with high yield with very low entry of threshold entry. I don't have to pay much to get into something that gives me a lot.
But at the end of the day, it is a short-term mindset. Like, exactly, and that's fine. Like you're trying to do your thing. You're trying to have your best life. I get that.
But you said,
it's a short-term mindset. It's the same thing to me. I see it. Wait. I'll show you how it's a short-term mindset.
Okay, go ahead.
If you go out into the world and you're like, I don't want anything serious. I just want to mess around.
Okay,
that's all I want. And then you just say, I want to get in a relationship. Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. Now, this relationship only has to be so that the man pays for everything. Mm-hmm. And like we said on the previous episode, the man only wants a woman with a certain type of body. Oh, so now that gets you in the door, right? But then what happens when you're actually with that person one on one, like actually living with them, having experiences with them? Like you're not thinking, how does this man act when he gets upset?
Okay, the other little
How
nuances. Okay.
how does this man treat my family?
Mhm.
How does this man act when I need his support, when I need him to be there for me, to listen? Like you don't say, I want a man who can listen to me, I want a man who can respect me, I want a man who has the same financial values as me. You don't say none of that. You just say, I want a man who pay for everything
All right. Well,
because you're the man.
all right. So that's really
And honestly, I'm getting a little discouraged from your little market.
really.
Yeah, I am, because it's BS. It's BS. And I think it's also an age thing,
Yeah.
because you're gonna think similarly to the people your age. So, girls my age, they think kind of similar to
To more
me,
current,
because
yeah.
we're on the same little, sub
Well,
subgroup.
look, I'll look at it like this, man.
I'm gonna regret this so
you
much.
no, you said it's short term, and the grievances have place, but it's broad. It's a
Because
lot.
then afterwards, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, but
Most likely, it's not gonna
you-
work. So you're not long term thinking.
So look, it can be long term. It can be long term depending on application. There are people who said, "Look, the way I run my life is I got it, but I need a sponsor to facilitate that."
And that's fine.
Right? So there's some people's long term strategy. It's been very well recorded. I'm going to find someone with the finances or whatever, and they don't have a lot of expectations because say they want a certain woman with a certain body, right? Say with a certain body, they're not thinking about anything. I have the money, I can afford it. Well, you can afford it. I can provide the body. We'll do whatever. All those other aspects might not really be considered until later, until they become an issue. There's some people out there, I don't care about all those things. As long as he basically pays for everything and doesn't have great expectations for anything more than just me being there, that works. And people are willing to sacrifice. They're willing to sacrifice.
People willing to sacrifice, you mean the man willing to sacrifice?
The women, some women willing to sacrifice. I'm not gonna be in love with him. I'm not gonna be willing to make sure he's taken care of when he gets sick. I'm not gonna have that connection with him. He's just a support. He's just a bankroll for me. There's a lot of women out there who think like that, but they know the trade-off is that if this dude's only a bankroll, he might want certain things from you, or he might get tired of that, and he might need someone to take care of him. And if you're not gonna do that, he might have to switch you.
But then they can discuss it at the idea of, he's just basically paying for sex.
Yeah, there's that.
But they don't like the idea. If you're cool with it, that's cool. But what do you want?
It's cool with it when it's someone else is the one that's basically proposing the idea.
Oh, of course.
They're only cool when Dave proposed it, or Dave basically said, I compromised and said, look, I'm okay with it. I've accepted it to a certain degree. But no, the thing about it is, it's about disqualification. It things that you talked about affect the market, affects the mindsets of a lot of people, men and women. But if you're in a position to disqualify people, you disqualify them. They're not going to be happy about it. They're going to be like, oh, because they don't want to be disqualified. But if you're not in a position to disqualify people, they're always going to look down on you as like, who are you to say anything to me?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad it hasn't happened yet, so I don't have that complaint yet.
But you know what?
But if I'm on the same road, it's going to happen.
There's a lot of people who are going to say, you're not in a position to disqualify me because I don't want you anyway. Well, if there's a general consensus of certain things, there's a lot of people who would disqualify individuals because everybody wants different things, have different preferences and all of that. That's what's prevalent, right? But what happens is a man that's willing to pay all the bills and drop the money and do all of that, right? Especially with low requirements, he is a prize to women. He's a prize. He'll be snapped up because of what he's willing to do. Right.
Exactly.
Same way with a woman who's attractive and she's willing to just give up.
It's the equivalent. It's the equivalent. Yeah.
Because
you're gonna be more valuable in the market.
It's one of the core things that both men and women want in the most simplistic way.
What do you think of my idea that a woman wanting a man for that being equivalent to the man wanting a woman just for a type of body?
For a type of body?
Yeah. Do you think is it really?
I don't think it's equivalent because it's an effort. So the body is a preference. A woman that wants a man to pay for everything is a lifestyle. Well, what lifestyle attribute does he want from the woman? Well, yeah, he wants her to look a certain way, but it's the same thing about I'm paying for what you want to give me. What I might want from you is sex. What I might want from you is a family with children and all that. What I want from you is just, someone to just to accompany me when I go out and put on for people. And it wasn't.
Which there's relationships like that.
There's ones I just want company. I want somebody to talk to. There's that. Whatever the man is paying for, and he's willing to do that for, he wants for what he wants for his money. Now, what happens with a lot of guys who pay for, no matter what you pay, 50 or more, when you stop getting what you're investing for, it's a little bit different if you're straight up, I'm paying for it. But when you're contributing and it's supposed to be a mutual aspect and you start getting less and less and less, but you've been willing to provide without a hard demand or requirement, then you start crossing certain boundaries, thresholds of expectation and whatnot, start becoming unhealthy and be like, hey, I've been doing this for you and you were doing this, but now you're not doing this anymore, but I'm still doing this. Then you start getting those semantics of like, well, I'm gonna stop doing this, or you know what, better that this relationship this doesn't serve me. I serve you, but you're not serving me. We're not serving each other. I'm just get out of it. And that's when you ain't a real man because I've heard it. Oh, well, you're supposed to do that. But what are you supposed to do? I are supposed to do, and you get on that man that rant about, oh, well, I shouldn't have to do this and I shouldn't have to do that. Well, all right. Well, if you don't feel like you shouldn't have to do anything.
And at the end of the day, if you don't work out, you don't work out.
Yeah.
But also damn, point again. This happens a lot.
Well, yeah, you gotta get your ginkgo biloba, dog. Or
my B12.
Yeah, and keep that stress down and get upset.
So what I was gonna say is, even if I honestly forgot.
Well, man, look. At the end,
say something so it comes.
At the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of loud mouths that are going to try to get attention.
No. Go ahead.
Go.
Loud mouths. What?
Loud mouths going to get attention, but when the appraisal is done, when the math is done, decent people are always going to be sought after. There's going to be a lot of flim-flams and stuff.
That's true.
But you said long term, right? The long term is people who try to get over. They're only going to get over so long until they hit the wall. Men and women.
Yeah,
decent
exactly.
people, hopefully,
and men and women.
Yeah,
men need women, women need men.
Absolutely. Hopefully, decent people get together.
Yeah, hopefully.
But decent people get jaded along the way and become not so decent people. They compromise their ethics and whatnot. It's one of those things, man. But hopefully, people stay even keeled.
And the thing also is that you want the perfect woman. I want the perfect woman. Another woman wants the perfect man. That's just my neighbor. Mm-hmm. And another woman's going to want the perfect man. Mm. That's fine. I want the perfect woman. 100%.
Okay.
I know this individual does not exist.
Yeah, okay. There we go. All right.
Okay. So I'm going to try to get as much as I can from this person to have a good life with.
Yeah.
Right? So there's some trade-offs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if the perfect woman for me has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 bullet points, maybe I get 7. There's 3 I'm willing to compromise on. That's something you should go out. That's something you should go with. Mm-hmm. But just straight up making a decision over something so superficial when you don't know the person. I've been with a great girl with a great body. It doesn't mean you're crap. You know, if you have a very good thing. Mm-hmm. There's great men who also pay for everything.
Yeah. Right.
But there's some things, and we've talked about it before, that you're not gonna like. You're gonna hate those.
Yeah, it's human aspects. Yeah, human element.
But you're not perfect. So now you gotta have your your boundaries. Your zero tolerance zones.
Yeah,
if you do this, no.
You got deal breakers that usually come with respect.
Deal breaker.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, deal breakers usually trust.
It's like say for example, you're trying to buy a house. You want to buy this house for $300,000, and that's your initial offer. The house is up for $360,000. Well, maybe I'll pay $320,000. No, okay, I'll do $325,000. Okay, cool. Bam. Of course, you want the house to be cheap for you.
Yeah, easier.
But you gotta trade off a little bit.
Yeah, you want to get to the threshold. You want to get as close to your comfortable zone and threshold. Get it low and know it's high value.
Exactly.
But you also have to be willing to realize that, look, if you truly acknowledge the value of whatever it is, are you willing to really pay the value for what it is? like I said, something that's too good to be true is often too good to be true. So that's why they call them the unicorn. If you get the perfect person who's mad gorgeous but super cool, is a unicorn. And it's basically like that's why it doesn't really exist, because it's always got to be what they say: super attractive but super problematic, really unattractive but not really problematic at all. But nowadays now is really
that meme on Facebook with the professor and stuff. Yeah, I remember it.
But no, man, it's if you're dealing with it, you're dealing with it. I can't say like the whole.
What do you? That is what I don't know. What do you feel?
How do I feel?
You think it should be 100% you, 50-50, 60-30, sometimes 60-40, or 70-30? What do you think?
What the reality is it depends on what works on the person. So it's
No. You go out with a girl. You've been going out for 6 months.
Okay.
What do you expect? 150, 60.
Paying for things. So
in general, money wise. What do you think is cool?
I feel like if I have the capability, I should be building myself. So I focus with me first. I would rather it be 100% me, and her showing the effort. And one, I want to deal with someone who's capable to pay 100%. If I want.
That's true. If you're not there, exactly. Yeah.
Right? I want to deal with someone who can. All right, because that's a clear disparity right there. And but I want to do that. And if they want to, they can do 100% on something else. Oh, you did this for me. Oh, great. Oh, whatever. You took care of that for me. Oh, wow. I didn't expect that. And I want someone to show the effort of willingness to do those for me, but not having to do those, and not me not expecting, well, there's that. I did 50-50 before. On certain things, it's okay. 50-50, a lot of times you don't want to have uncomfortable arrangements between there's a expected, because some people, when you pay for something, they expect something in return that might make the other person uncomfortable. I'm not the kind of person I want to set it like that. But it just depends on how the dynamics of that relationship work out. But me, I would want to be in a position in my life where I can do 1,000.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And then be like that, and then but they can do 100 on their end. I would want to be that. I'm the kind of person, like, if it was house bills, I would, now in my life, 50-50 don't work. 50-50 don't work. I've been in 50-50. 50-50 when someone can't do their 50-50. Or they feel like that gets ugly. Or when they don't feel like they have to do their 50-50 because they don't value that, because they're elsewhere, it's devastating. Because if you contour your life
depending too much,
you become codependent, and that's just not healthy. So I would rather be able to manage my life and get my life large enough to where I can incorporate other people without needing them. There are certain things. This whole thing, you shouldn't need someone. You do need interaction with people. You do need someone to help you. Period. You do. There's certain aspects of others you need, but there's a decency of want, and I want to maintain a desire and want for people. I want to maintain a friendship with someone. I want to maintain a relationship with someone. I want to go through the adversity and build on it, and not to where I need it to survive. I need validation or closure from it, but I should want to continue it. Or if it goes away, I would want it to end amicably. But that takes maturity.
I have another, yeah, which a lot of people have the time, but not the maturity. And I was just having this conversation a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're like in a tight situation, like right. You guys say you got a kid, and then you're going through a child.
Okay, child, go ahead.
So you have a child, and you're in a very, very poor financial situation. Yeah, you need a man to come and do it for you. Wait.
Wait, okay, go ahead. I'll let you point.
Now, when you hear it from women who got it, well, maybe they're not rich, maybe they're not, but they're either well off, but they're secure. They can do it on their own, like you said.
Yeah.
But then you also want a man to basically, I see it as rescue. That's not cool. Like if you need, I know you have a problem with that word in this context, but
okay.
If you're in a financial situation where you don't have the means, I mean, yeah, go with the one who's going to provide that for you.
Yeah.
But if you can do it on your own, you just gotta hustle, because I mean, it's kind of life, and you were born in this century. Yeah. But then you still want somebody to come in and bail you out and rescue you, and just you want to chill at home all day.
Yeah. I'll say this: if I don't like it, if I was in a situation where I say I had my child with me, and I've been doing it on my own for the whole time, and say I was to have a woman,
like if she lived with you,
my daughter.
Yeah.
Like say it was me. Say it was me, just me and my daughter the whole time. Yeah. I'm taking care of everything. I'm not getting help from nobody else, right?
Okay.
Woman comes into my life, right? I'm of the mind that basically like I'm still gonna maintain me. But if you come into my life, you can add to my life. And then we'll if we come together, then we'll equally divide things in as far as authority, expectations, and roles. I'm gonna still pay for everything on mine. If you come in and say, I'll take over everything, it's hypothetical because it's not usually how the gender roles work. But if she came and said, no, I can take care of all the bills, yada yada, I'm in a better position, you get on your feet, yada yada yada, I would be leery to do that because I know how the power dynamics are and how those structures, you put yourself at a disadvantage and liability, letting someone else have everything and you're kind of at their behest. That's why I understand when women are like, look, I want a traditional man, but I don't want to be in a traditional disadvantage. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
That's
exactly what I mean. Yeah.
That's why you gotta be with decent people. Decent men and a decent traditional man and a decent traditional woman are better.
You need to align in the ways you think.
Yeah, I would say none of the traditional man or a decent or exceptional hybridized person, man or woman, because we just whatever. If you're a decent person and you're willing to put full effort, if your effort is not contingent on whether or not someone else does for you, and you'll give 100% until you get to a point where you realize, look, I'm not getting reciprocation, so it's not healthy for me. I'd rather invest my effort somewhere where I'm going to get it and pivot. Then great. Good people who meet themselves like that, two individuals who are like, I'm gonna keep it 100, regardless if you keep it 100 or not. Well, me too. And you meet that, there might be differences, whatever. But to people who are naturally they're committed to things, they're committed to that relationship, pouring into that relationship, pouring into each other, and making sure that cocktail stays right. Those are the best. Whether it's traditional, whether it's modern, hybrid, whatever the roles are, they're aware of what that sphere in their world needs. It ain't everything else. It's just them. They don't have they have misunderstandings, but they understand that we are understanding. We are in a better position. And I desire you more than I desire everything else I've been on. Synergy. You be two things come together and become greater as one than they were independently. That's all it is. It's just a lot of people who have these conversations everywhere. They want that, but sometimes they're uncomfortable. They're unsure. They're awkward. They're traumatized. They're hurt, and they want what's comfortable, but they really want the thing I just described. They want the synergy, but it takes sacrifice. It takes a lot of pain. You're gonna get hurt anyway. But a lot of times, what happens is we don't meet people who are committed to being that without someone else. A lot of us need someone else to uphold their end to be able to do that. If you meet someone strong enough that be like, I'm going to be this, like I'm be honest, out there, I've met people like this. There are women who are wives. They operate in wife energy, regardless of the thing, whether they're single or they're with a man. They operate in wife energy. There are men out there who operate in husband energy, regardless of what they're in a relationship. You want to do that?
Yeah, because I do consider myself one of them.
Okay. All right, I'm not here to judge you, homie. I'm not here to judge you at all.
You don't believe me, but man, I really am.
But that's
kind of reviews.
But that's the whole idea. That's the whole idea. If people can be themselves and really invest that type of energy into a relationship, regardless of the other person, yes, you need natural reciprocation to make it valued, because you can't have a relationship with just one-sided. But that's what it be, man.
Crazy things, crazy world.
Yeah.
You can be the perfect package at the wrong address. Thank you for watching another episode of the Rico Nico podcast.
At least I know
Not always. I don't know.
But you know when I hear that,
they just sent it to me.
I know you're doing better.
They just sent it to me.
They just
I'm feeling. You know what? This was really insightful. I low-key feel a little better. I'm not gonna lie.
See,
there you go.
Champions. All right. Cool.
Let us know in the comments down below what you guys think. I feel so good about this now. I'm not even gonna make the joke. Hit the like button. Thank you for watching all the way till the end. Share it with all your friends. Tell them if they're not watching the Rico Nico podcast, they're missing out. And thank you, Rico, for this podcast. And we'll see you next round. Take it easy.